had enough of this. I'm done.
What do you mean you had enough of this? Get back here, you. Just kidding, guys. I couldn't wait long enough to try this button. What you have enough of? All right, let's get back to it, guys. Today we're going to go back. We're still going to work some of the questions, the pressure from top across side. Some questions were, what is my favorite submissions from there? You know the answer right now. So type in your answers. I'll give you an answer in a few minutes. It's a few seconds, maybe. So, guys, one of the questions was, this was on YouTube for yesterday's episode. Today's episode 56. Okay, tomorrow's 57. 57 varieties. You know what label that is on? Gotcha. All right, so the question was that somebody's coach told them that the minute you take off your knees from the ground, that it's very easy for the bottom guy to put you back in guard. No, not necessarily. It depends. Yeah, I will keep my knees on the ground a lot, you know, but if I take my, yeah, this is very difficult. My knees are completely off the ground. Let's look at it from the other side. So the point is, what I'm trying to make is, you know, we're not painting by numbers. Yeah. What that means is like, okay, here's top across side. This is how you hold top across side. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on what are you trying to accomplish. Are you trying to hold him? Are you trying to just kind of keep him where he is? Or are you trying to open him up? Are you trying to change things up? Understand that when I'm on top, it's not easy for me to hold a bigger, stronger guy. Unless if I keep switching my body positioning. If I keep switching my body positioning, he has to reset his escape. So as he's resetting his escapes and he's switching his arms, he's giving me opportunities to start isolate his arms, isolate his head, or potentially you can go into the legs as well. So the point is, you know, when you change things up, he has to react. If he doesn't, now he's going to start to break down. So this is not that difficult to escape. Yeah. If he insists, he will escape this. And you know, even if I have a lot of weight, all he's got to do is bump up. Yeah, and now there's space created. And I have to back off. If I don't, I'm vulnerable to a possible arm lock. Now, knees off the ground. Again, it's not impossible, but it's very, very difficult. So the fact that you bring your knees off the ground doesn't necessarily mean that that's a no-no. You should never bring your knees off the ground when you're on top. Absolutely not. A lot of times it's useful. You could be sitting out on somebody. You could be sitting out like that. I dropped it. My knees are off the ground, you know. I'm going to the other side. I'm sitting out, knees off the ground. So the point is that the points that we made yesterday are still valid. You can bring your knees off the ground and still keep him down. So I don't necessarily keep my pressure on him the whole time. I will keep pressure, but not that concentrated pressure we talked about yesterday all the time. So he will feel my weight. It just may not be concentrated. I may concentrate it, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, tune into yesterday's episode. I may concentrate it briefly for a few seconds, and then I switch. So when I switch, you still will feel my weight. It may not be at that concentrated level. Okay, because now he's giving me something to work with. All right, so that goes back to sort of the idea of what's your favorite submission from top across side, based on sort of some of the things we did yesterday. Can somebody give me the answer that I'm going to give you? Oh, thank you, Mike. Guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tag. I don't know, what else can you do? Watch. As I said before, guys, if you like it, keep watching, keep sharing, subscribing, tagging your friends and so forth. If you don't like it, watch something else. Or somebody else.
On YouTube, Waylon99 says bread cutter. GM Baseball says baseball bat choke, arm locks on both sides, and bread cutter. Daniel Restrepo says whatever works, whatever he gives you. Elasa Pierce says whatever he gives you.
All right.
Mo Dizzle says baseball bat choke and arm lock. Acoustic Jaybird says the one that works.
Yes, guys.
And so does Caleb
They're all
too.
good answers, but basically it is what he gives me. I go with what he gives me. Again, that's the idea behind me alternating sort of knees on the belly, knees on the ground, sitting out, concentrating pressure, creating some opportunities for attack. And I will go with whatever he gives me. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through, kind of semi-live scenario. And I don't know where this is going to go. Well, I do know where it's going to go. It's going to go to submission. But I'm not sure exactly which one. It will depend on what he gives me. So we're going to move at a somewhat, not full pace, but decent pace. And we'll see what happens. And then we're going to try to recreate it at a slower pace. That's going to be the tricky part, to see if we can recreate exactly the same sequence so I can talk you through it. All right. This is done. All right. So let's go back. We're going to do the same side, so it's hard enough to try to remember all the sequences I went through. Are you going to give me the same look now? All right, good. So guys, I started out, right now, I'm not, he doesn't feel my chest pressure. What I'm trying to do is make him feel pressure by his hips, all right? So that's an early warning sign, so he knows there's some pressure. He tried to slide out. I tried to go mount. He just came up, straight into triangle. So again, I will choose different spots on his body for him to feel pressure and to react. All right? So I always like to have my opponent feel attacks on multiple fronts. We've talked about some dual submissions like inverted triangle and a key lock. This is a little different. This is sort of two different areas of his body. Sometimes you can do even three. That's a little harder. Feeling sort of under threat, or feeling, okay, I'm not quite sure what I can do here. And that's the best thing you can have, because if the guy's sort of feeling, okay, I can't go this way, I can't go this way, and then once you increase the pressure, if he's not moving, I start to go into submission. So he has to move, and that's usually when they make a mistake. So look at it another, different side maybe. So, yeah, this time, I'm gonna, go ahead, keep running, don't.
We're good. I thought you were explaining the same escape.
No, this is different escape.
Oh, okay.
Give it your best shot. So he's trying to hunt for my back right now. I have his arm. So I can explain this because he's not moving that fast, because he can't. This is gonna go. You might as well let it go. This is done. Once I get that grip, guys, that's pretty much done. That one was kind of slow, so he got into a position where he could not make rapid movements anymore. So
The Juggernaut ITT MMA on Instagram is asking for the previous one, is the risk to reward ratio low?
you always want to have a low risk to reward ratio. Yes, that's a very, very important point. You know, at the end of the day, when you're engaged in combat, you know, it's you making split-second decisions, and it's risk-reward. Like I said, a lot of times I will accept being reversed if I'm on top, if he gives me something, it gives me like superior grip where I feel very highly confident I will either finish him or reverse him back. You know? All right, let's go.
This is not fair. What do you mean it's not fair?
Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, that was a good one, guys. I'm pretty good with those things where I get like picked up and kind of wrap a weird triangle. I did not expect that one. But I had to, if you don't expect it, you got to still step up and do it.
Let's do it again.
Not necessarily that one.
Oh, okay.
Just-
Just trying to escape.
He's not giving me anything, so I'm just alternating right now. Now he's giving me something. So you could see how I was moving side to side because I didn't want him to get a good bite on my body and try to just either use it as either push me away and get his legs back in, or use it as a frame for him to move away.
AGU26 Fly on YouTube says, "Oh my God, Professor Fox, you are a flying fox, pure gold."
Yes, sometimes I do that.
And Jean-Christophe is asking, which falls in line with what you just said, what do you do if the guy wants to give you nothing?
Oh, you want to give me nothing? So, give me nothing. Give me nothing. You good? Give me nothing. Give me nothing. Is giving me nothing an option? Does that answer your question?
You're like a reverse thief. Don't give me anything.
So, play dead. He has to move. If he doesn't move, yeah, I don't like to do this to him. I don't like it, but I will do it. If you give me nothing, go home. You already know what to, like, if your idea of defense is this, you already know what to, you know how to do that before you get on the mats. You don't need jiu-jitsu for that. Try to escape. If you don't try to escape, then, like, jiu-jitsu is supposed to be a self-defense. So now, it gives me nothing, it's a self-defense scenario. But look at it. You understand, guys? So if he gives you nothing, that's a BS answer. All right? You have to understand, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is primarily a martial art form of self-defense. When you get away from that, yeah, okay, that's fine. It's, maybe you want to do that, but you have to create opportunities. And there's two ways to do it. It's either start punching him in the head, which we usually can't do in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition, or put your shit on his neck and see what he will open up. He will start moving. You may not get that submission, but he will start moving.
Jean-Christophe says, "Thank you. Sorry, Enrique." And Kanaki says, Enrique, put Jean's name on the list.
All right, let's keep going. So guys, notice I'm already putting my thumb in, because if he doesn't do anything, I'm stepping over. So even if he doesn't do anything, I'm gonna step over. And this again, this is not an option. He has to do something. So if he doesn't do anything, he's doing nothing. Now, are you gonna do something? Yes. Did you have your coffee? Yes. Okay. I got him, guys. I don't think we can recreate this one. I hope you guys pay attention, because I don't think we can recreate that scramble.
On YouTube, AGU26Fly is asking, Professor, if under pressure by a bigger, stronger guy, which we can't get out, is it still advisable to move? But will it tire us if we can't find a way out?
Yeah, you'll be tired, but at least you will have tried. If you don't try, you have to try. I'd rather be tired and have tried than be fresh and say, okay, I didn't do anything. Yeah, you have to try. Conversely, he's trying to find little spaces, little areas of space. You have to. If you don't, then there's no point. That's how we get better. Failing makes us better in jiu-jitsu. But what distinguishes us from, you could look at failing in two different ways. You can quit, or you can go back and try to do it better next time. That's what makes us martial artists. That factor, that alone. Everything else is secondary.
And there are lots of peers asking, so you basically switch your attacks all the time until he gives you something solid?
Exactly. Until I have something I can take to the bank, I will constantly hunt for, keep pressure on him, keep him in an inferior position, stay on him the whole time until he gives me something. Then I will make a bigger move to run with that, whether it's his arm, whether it's his neck, taking the back.
Michael J. Miller says, Silver Fox is making it look so simple.
Yeah, most of the concepts are simple. The question is to have the wherewithal to execute them. People always say, well, I tried it, it didn't work for me. You know how many times this didn't work for me, guys? Oh man, too many times to count. As I told you before, I am not talented. But if I see something that I want to do, or I want to have this is important to me, I will go after it.
And Stefan Vraby on Facebook is asking, was there a leg lock in the middle of the last scramble?
Maybe, but what he does really well is pay attention to his feet. When I start to sit out, or when I start to turn towards his legs, what he starts to do is he starts to swim his feet underneath. So if I go to the leg lock, he can take my back. I might let him do that once. Just for your guys' amusement.
Thank you, Stefan.
He goes on the good list.
Yeah.
First name on the good list. So go. I got my Irish up, guys. we're going live, guys, that would be a lot tougher. But I would probably, if we're going live, we've been in this kind of Scrabble sequence many a time. It's a lot harder for me to take that arm lock, but that's exactly what I would do. But you could see that when I start to think about the leg attacks, it's seamless. He's looking for one under. All you need is one underhook, and it could be very slight. So it's there, but it depends how good is your training partner in getting that underhook in and starts to lift you to attack your back.
The Juggernaut ITT MMA says, "Sir, my arms are short, so because of that, my arm in guillotine is not so tight. Is there any tips for someone with shorter hands?"
Yeah, do a no arm guillotine. Focus on no arm guillotine. It's going to be better for you. Yeah, it's a lot of times. Usually guys that have shorter arms or shorter legs, you know, anytime I go for an attack, almost always there's an arm lock somewhere. So it's, you know, you could always use the threat of that choke. You know, Mike sitting behind the tree of devices is a perfect example. Mike, like guys, I have really good guillotines. I have really good anacondas, inverted triangles. I will use that on Mike. He has a really good neck, very deep carotids. I will use the threat of the choke to get to one of his limbs. Instead, I don't want to be squeezing his neck for, like, you know, it seems like an eternity. It might be like a minute, which in jiu-jitsu terms, it's like an eternity.
And Caleb Throop on Facebook is asking, what grips or pressure would you say most often forces you to escape turning away from the uke instead of toward him and cross-side?
You understand?
How do you make me turn away?
Yeah. Good question. I will have to actually verbalize what I'm doing intuitively. I just don't know the answer yet, but I will give it to you in a few seconds. Oh yeah.
Let's do it again from the other side.
So I'm driving, so by your actions on top, so I'm backing my weight towards my hips. What do you, yeah, he's gonna turn to me. I pressure the far side shoulder. I don't focus, guys, people sometimes tend to focus too much on the head. I wanna control the head, but not grip it too tight, because when you grip it too tight, you basically almost get yourself locked up on top in one position. I want to have the ability to float wherever I see the opportunities. So I start to now I will start to threaten mount.
Oh yeah.
So where you apply the pressure is also very important. A lot of times when I'm on top, I will, so when I have the knee on the belly, so this is like a lot of pressure to expose his neck, but if I want him to move towards me, I drop my knee, or either one, I drop this one. That lightens up the pressure. He will turn to me. It's not like a puppet master. He just doesn't know it. So basically when I apply the pressure, makes him sort of turn either away from me or to me. It's almost like he feels, okay, this is the only way I can go. And if I back off my pressure towards my hips, whether I just put, so for example, there's a lot of pressure that way. Okay? Now the minute I put this on the ground, the pressure will lighten up so much, he will almost for sure turn to you. Because he feels very good about it. I just need to control his head long enough for me to sort of start to move around. Maybe I'll go to the other side. I'm looking for an isolation here. I have isolation. Yeah. So as I'm moving around, At no point does he feel like he's out of danger. And I'm just sort of like, as I'm moving around, keeping pressure on different points of his body, he starts to get his arms and legs and head in certain positions to escape. But you understand, if you're on the bottom, you will learn through your failures. Oh, okay, he caught me with this. If that guy catches you with something 10 times or 50 times, depending how talented you are, or I'm talented, I probably need 50 times, maybe 100. You will realize, okay, this is not a good way for me to move when he's in this particular position. It doesn't mean that that move is not good. It just means that that move may not be good in that particular position. And that's a valuable information for yourself. So even though you're getting caught in a submission, as Renzo says, when you tap in, you learn it.
Moises from the Academy says, a light bulb moment for me.
Oh, nice. I always like those.
And 10, us is asking, Fox, when you put your arm between his legs in side control, can Enrique kick out his leg to release your arm?
That's what he does. But what's more important is, guys, understand that he's getting rid of that single threat. But look what happens to him, to his body, right? Voila. What is he? He's fighting to get back flat on the ground. Do you understand how valuable that is? All I did is put my hand between his legs to threaten to turn him away. He now has to get rid of that, because if he doesn't, I'm threatening to take his back or triangle him or whatever. But he's fighting to just get back to being flat on the ground like this. If you watch the episode from the beginning to now, you will notice that a lot of times all I'm doing is moving my hands, moving my body a little bit, and it's basically making him to fight back, to be back on the bottom of cross-side. And when he does finally explode out, I catch him. That's the whole point. I know it sounds very simple. It's not, guys, but that's how I keep bigger, stronger, and skilled guys down. They're under constant threat, and then every time, if they have no skill, they'll do something stupid. But if they have some skill, they will constantly realize, oh, if I go this way, this is going to happen. Oh, if I go this way, okay, this is going to happen. There's just, on the bottom, if they give me nothing, you know that we can force them to give us something. And then eventually, okay, if I go this way, I go, oh, crap, got caught in arm lock. That is the whole point, guys. That's how I approach my top game.
And
2 minutes, yes.
lots of peers asking, what do you do if your opponent's strategy is to pin you, get you tired, and then attack you?
From
Yeah, like from the bottom. I mean, you kind of reflect.
I just keep moving.
Yeah.
Look, try to pin me. Tire me out. By the way, I tire out very easily, so. Tire me out. You guys didn't think I could be that strong, did you? Yeah, you didn't think I could lift him. It's, once you decide to bust out, the guy who's holding you, he can't hold you. The only time, and I've explained this story before, when I was a brown belt, this is a long time ago, this is, go back maybe 2003, 2004. There was a couple of guys who were like good blue belts in jiu-jitsu. They were police, and they were teaching at the police academy. So I'd go up there, train with them, and every once in a while they'd throw me in with the recruits. One time they had this big, this is worse than this. And the guy was huge. And he sat out on me like this. Just like, a little more weight. I just wanted to hold me. I felt trapped. I gotta be honest with you, I felt trapped. And I had to literally talk myself down. And I was like, how am I gonna get out? There was no space. I got out. I got out. I had to talk myself almost like, all right, this is what you're gonna do. This is what you're gonna get your elbow back. You're gonna keep squirming. Out, 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 back in until you come out. Felt like a long time, but I escaped. You will escape too. Guys, try to escape. If you can't, you tap. Would you rather learn and tap than not learn anything? Okay, I survived. If you take that attitude, guys, you might just want to crawl in the corner, curl up in a fetal position and say, I survived. That's easy. The difficult part is to try to fight. And I don't mean fight like, okay, let me punch him in the head a little bit, or, you know, like a dirty shot. No, it just means try. Because if you try and you fail, you absorb that information. And it's not, when I say fail, I don't mean that in a literal sense like you failed. It just that escape wasn't, maybe it was the right escape at the wrong time, maybe it was the right escape at wrong position, or maybe it was the right escape and you just squashed it, but eventually you're gonna get it right.
And one last question before we close out.
Yeah.
Caleb Throop is asking, when are you comfortable on bottom to turn away and turtle as an escape? Is there a certain grip that you want to have first?
From the bottom, no. I don't want grips. If I'm on the bottom, guys, I don't want grips. I want him away from me. I don't want him. Only once I'm coming out, then that's when I'm gonna get grips. So if I'm on the bottom, so he's coming in, I feel comfortable to turtle up because I changed the angle dramatically, and as we talked about in one of the previous episodes, so I'm kind of curling out my back to create a little bit extra height for him. As he's dropping in, I'm gonna fold. Now I'm gonna look for grips, because now I'm transitioning into an offensive mode. All right? So it's also very important to realize when you want grips. I don't want grips when I'm on the bottom, generally speaking, until I can get myself back more into a neutral position. You can see that I transition. I usually go from defensive into offensive mode. I usually blow right through the neutral position. I don't spend a lot of time in the neutral position. So I get tired usually before him. So if I spend time in neutral position, I'm pissing away, pardon my French, pissing away the opportunity to take the momentum and run with it. And we're out of time. Okay, guys. So tune in tomorrow to 57 Varieties of Heinz Ketchup. Episode 57 tomorrow. Guys, again, like, share, subscribe, tag, and whatever else you could think of doing. Huh? Follow. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's good. Follow us where?
Instagram or Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Follow your Instagram page. Your
Guys, everything is
Facebook
easy to
page.
find. Everything's under Silver Fox BJJ. And if you can't find it, let somebody else. Mike or Rika can help you. I probably can't. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Stay well, stay safe, and be nice to others, okay?